And there's a lot of comics that are aspiring actors, especially here in Hollywood. And I'll tell you, this is a fantasy I never allow myself to indulge in. And I'll share with you why. I don't think there's a lot of casting directors out there going, bring me the next Asian Roseanne Barr. Nobody's looking for an Asian lesbian DEI Roseanne Barr at this point in time. My husband never takes me anywhere, ever. I'm a domestic goddess. That bar scares the shit out of me. I mean, here's a woman who objectively created one of the best sitcoms ever made, and a few years later, she is in Austin, Texas with Joe Rogan, staring at the sun looking for Jewish space lasers. I'm like, fuck. Did that happen to me? You know, I don't know. I hope you guys will indulge me. I'm going to do a little bit of sort of comedy inside baseball, you know, what it's like to be a comedian. Occasionally, I will get approached by a paler comedian, what I like to call a round eye. Dylan knows what I mean. And he will come up to me and he will go, Mary, I have written this Asian joke, and I do not wish to be canceled. I'm going to run it by you and see if it's okay. My response to that individual will be entirely determined by how I feel about him. Because if he's a dick, or if he's just looking for my permission to be racist, I will go, oh my God, I love that joke! When you do the accent. You, sir, have a flawless Vietnamese accent. But I had a little full circle moment the other day. I was in Palm Springs doing some shows at a hotel, and there just so happened to be a cheerleader competition going on simultaneously, okay? My partner and I are traipsing through downtown Palm Springs, and like these adolescent girls are like streaming like locusts in and out of Sephora with like more makeup than Liberace and Tammy Faye Baker combined. So I wrote a little joke in my head. I was a little nervous about it. Went up to one of my male cohorts there at the show and I said, listen, I wrote this joke. You know, the entire audience, by the way, is made up of drunk cheerleader moms who are not supervising any of their children, okay? And he goes, oh my God, I love that joke. You should open with that joke. So I stood up in front of a group of mothers, of adolescent girls, and I said, downtown Palm Springs reminded me of Epstein Island. And I proceeded to have the longest fucking 30 minutes of my life, okay? All I'm saying is karma is a bitch, you know what I mean? It'll come back around to you. You can't get away with it forever. Okay, so changing topics a little bit. My partner and I, we had quite the journey to becoming parents, okay? I'm not sure why everything is a journey now, like we were all Frodo Baggins, but you know, there you are. And we went through 5 rounds of IVF in order to get our boys. It was, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot to go through. It was a lot of money, okay? It was just really a lot. You know, what happened was, I was diagnosed with a condition called incompetent cervix. Don't get grossed out, boys. Okay, no, this is real life. Okay, I got diagnosed with it. It's called incompetent cervix. And we ended up, what happens is the body goes, oh, this is what a baby weighs, you know, and if you have multiples, that's a big problem. And we had a rather tragic outcome. But it is also how you know. It is the men who write the medical journals. I give you erectile dysfunction, incompetent cervix. Okay? Erectile dysfunction just sounds like if you smack the side of it and turn it off and on a couple of times, it might start working again. Incompetent cervix is a little judgmental in my estimation. So the time that it worked, we were conservative. We only transferred 3 embryos. The doctor pulled me aside. He told me one of those embryos was the very best embryo I ever made. Like the expensive eggs down there at Vaughn's, okay? I did that. And the other 2 were, as you guys like to say, mid. Okay? So we threw those up there. We hoped for the best. And we went back for an ultrasound, and it was at that point, you guys, we were well and truly fucked. Because every one of those embryos implanted and 2 split.
Oh shit.
Who is good at math? Not me. Okay? Good at algebra? I was pregnant with a basketball team. I am Asian. I adore a bargain, but the 5 for 1, not what we were looking for, okay? Now, because I live in the great state of California, I had access to tremendous reproductive health care, unlike a third of our sisters around the country today. And I had a procedure called a selective reduction. It's just a very precise abortion. They do it with an amnio needle. It just so happened, because of the timing, they did it on Halloween. So there was this table that rotated 360 degrees. They strapped me down to it. I was the Dyke of Frankenstein. You know, you guys, the truth of the matter is, I never would have survived delivering quintuplets. And if any of those babies had made it, I probably would have left 1 or 2 in a hot car at some point. Not really good at the math, you know? Is that the line? At any rate, so, you know, I was very fortunate. You know, we had a successful pregnancy. My children, you know, were born healthy. Oh, God. You know, the truth is, though, it really left me with an intrusive thought. I don't know if you guys know what an intrusive thought is. Like something you just like, it's like a railroad track you go over in your mind over and over and over again. Like almost like a regret or something, you know. I've had it for 20 years. And the thought is, I don't know if the doctor left the best 2 in there.